I think we end the one stream. I think we should be live. Are we live? Just trying to make sure we are back and running. Are we okay? End the one you're on. Click stream and record. We are live. We are live. Here's the new link. And we are back. And I apologize about what happened there. Let's get to the new. We are back. We've got 5 people in. Do hit the like button. Let everyone know that we're back in, and we're back live. Thank you, Martyn, for sorting that out very quickly. Let's get the new chat link. We are live. Okay. I apologize for what happened there. I assume what happened was it was weird because I think it must have been an internet issue to begin with, where I didn't have enough internet, and then it's failed to send the stream, but I'm unsure why the resume didn't work. It just kept giving me because normally I can resume it, but this time it just kept giving me an error to resume or even to start it again. And the last known message I got was YouTube is not receiving enough video to maintain smooth streaming. As such, viewers will experience buffering, and then the stream was healthy, and then within the same minute it said no data. YouTube is currently receiving data for the stream, is not currently receiving data for the stream. If you believe this is incorrect, ensure you're sending a stream and it's been configured with the correct stream key, and then we're on offline. So that was interesting. That's never happened before like that. Just seemed to be a sudden error in the code somehow, but we're live again. Martyn fixed it all. So thank you, Martyn, for getting us back live. I'm just waiting for everyone to come back in. Do hit the like button, let everyone know we're back. We are back. But I think that would mean, Martyn, you must be able to download the previous. You'll be able to download the previous one now as well, with the other videos. I'll do the final video of Soundhound. If anyone else wants me to do a video, if you do a super chat, I can do it for you. But let's get on with our final review of Soundhound AI. Any other questions, I'll be happy to answer. I'll wait for everyone to come in and then leave your questions below. Once I finish the video, I will get to your questions. Again, I apologize, but thanks to Martyn, we're live again. I'm going to close the window. Okay. 3, 4, 4 minutes. Sound. Now we've got background noise somehow. Okay. Breaking news on Martyn Lucas Investor. We are looking at Soundhound AI, ticker symbol SOUN. We're going to be looking at buy zones, sell levels, how to trade the stock, and where to buy long term. I'm also going to give you my prediction of where the stock's going in the long term, and also what can potentially happen if we do get a recession like many people are calling for. So let's get straight into it. If you do like Soundhound AI, please do hit the like button. If you do hold the stock, let me know in the comment section below, and let me know what your price predictions are and what do you think of its current price action. Is it a bit boring for you, staying around this $5 level, or do you not mind accumulating at these areas? I know what my answer is. Okay, let's get straight into it. So if you've seen any of my previous technical analysis of Soundhound AI, I have been saying we have been in this accumulation bottoming out structure for a while, which includes bouncing between 170 and about $4. Yes, it's a big range, but if you zoom out of this chart, you can see its IPO, you can see it go all the way up to $20, and then you can see it trying to bottom out. It did have a very quick, sharp decline all the way from $20 to about $2.66, 85% in less than 44 days. But ever since that, it's really just gone sideways. And then I covered the earnings a few months ago, around got to be two earnings ago now, but they had a very positive earnings and they came out of this accumulation structure. They broke out of it finally, very explosive. We took our profits at $8.73. It went all the way up to $10. It sold back off, and what we were looking for, we knew it was going to sell back off. Because it hit the risk reward wasn't as great. It was very overbought, and also it hit the technical level, and we were also expecting it to come back down and provide an even more bullish signal, which would be to come back to this area of accumulation and test the upper areas of this level, which is these areas here, where it used to be support at 463, then it was resistance at 464, then it was resistance between 390 and $5. Then it was resistance again at $5. Then it was um, resistance at $4. We said after this breakout, we're going to probably come back down and test it, and that's actually quite a bullish signal. It just means we're testing these levels as we go up. It's not an unsustained move to the upside. It's not just a bubble. It's going up in a nice trend. And that's, let me just make sure we're running smoothly. And that's what we're seeing now. We are still at this buy zone. We have tested it a couple of times between 360. We broke out. We came back down to the buy zone at $4, and we're still technically in the buy zone because we are between $4 and $5 currently. They did have some good earnings recently. We did cover the earnings. The next earnings is now in 88 days. Where do I think this is going? I think it should start, if continuing this trend to the upside, having higher in this midterm trend. You can see it has higher lows, meaning more people are owning the stock. We have got a parallel channel sort of going on. I do expect it to start moving. We've tested this level enough now. We want to start seeing a reaction. It was good to come back down here. We expect it to come back down here. It was quite positive. It came back down here. It showed a sustained move. However, it's now staying here for too long. This month, by the end of this month, it needs to have broken out of this level. You can't stick around at this support level for too long. You stick around a support for too long, you'll break below the support, and then you'll be looking at a $2.50 Soundhound. But I think this month, if you break out of this level, you're at the buy zone. If you treat it as a buy zone, if you treat it as a bit of support, what you expect is for it to break out, and then and then you'll see targets of $7.90, $8.72, and then once you break out of 8.72, then you can start getting back up to the all-time highs potentially, which is all the way in the 20s. However, if you stay at the support for too long, the momentum will go away from you. You'll start losing these higher lows. The trend will change, and once you start losing $4 again, once you break below $4 next time round, it will look very possible that this stock can come down to $2.42. And why do I choose this level? It's not random. There's two levels it can come to. It's maybe the heart line of this accumulation structure, which is just above it at 278, but it'll probably, if it goes to 280, it's probably going to go to 240 because there is a gap in trading prices. 90% of the time these gaps do get filled. And if it was going to be attracted, if we lose this major support that we have around $4 and we come below $3.80, we're probably going to quickly come back down, and $2.42 could be an event of a flash crash where it would be a great time to buy Soundhound. So some people might say it's crazy to think it can come down to 242. I don't think it's crazy. I think it is a possibility. I think it's not the most likely possibility, but I think it is pretty likely that this happens, that it comes down to 242. A couple reasons. One can be there's a hard landing approaching. The Fed is looking to reduce interest rates either by 0.25 or zero point 0.5. There's a 50-50 chance of that happening in the upcoming rate decisions. If it only reduces it by 0.25, people might think that's not enough. The markets might not decide that's not enough. It might be too little, too late, and then we might have a hard landing. If there's a hard landing, I think a stock like SoundHound AI, a tech stock with not too high of a market cap, that will drop very quickly, and that can, in an event of a hard landing, SoundHound AI, in my opinion, would come definitely down to $2.42. So that's why I have a limit order there. Let's say there's not a hard landing, it's not a recession, we have a soft landing. How can we come down to 242? If we start staying at the support, if we don't hold $4, if we break $4, I believe would come lower to at least 270. And even if there's a company failure or some bad news comes out, it might come down and flash crash up 242, or if there's a black swan event, 242. So I would just say 242, even though it's so much lower than you expect the price of SoundHound to be, it is a technical level. I do want to put it out there that it's still a speculative stock. It is still a very volatile stock, and buying it at a price of 242, if you have the opportunity and you don't buy at that level, you might be kicking yourself. Again, not financial advice, but having a limit order at 242, even if you think it's not going to go down there, it's not. It won't harm you. It's not going to go through unless it goes to that level, but there are chances it does go to 242. So that's my lowest low area target for SoundHound AI, and I do have higher targets. If we treat this as support, treat it as a buy zone, 872, and above that we can go to $20. Remember, we can come all the way down to 242, have a higher high, and then slowly start rebuilding, coming back above 872 and go back to $20. It will just mean that we've got our averages down, buying it at a better price. The RSI is another thing I like to look at. The RSI currently is not giving any indication on the daily time frame. If we look at the weekly time frame, the RSI is also at a neutral position. So we're very much looking at the support and resistance, and the support and resistance, we're sat at support right now, but we don't want to be sat at support for too long. If we stay at support for too long, we'll break down. I think you get the gist, and that's my review on SoundHound AI. If you have any specific questions, it's a very quick review, so if you want more details about anything, let me know, but I think you will enjoy the concise video for SoundHound as we've done previous videos before. If you want to see any other SoundHound videos, you'll see one here and one here. Do watch them, and let me know any other questions. Until next time, take care of yourselves and each other. Okay, that was SoundHound AI 1320. Okay, let's quickly check your questions before we end the stream. SoundHound break 167. Yeah, it can do, but I don't think that's very likely. Anything can happen. What did you think the S&P 500 will rebound this week? Well, it kind of rebounded last week, didn't it? I think, did it not make back most of its losses? It made back all its losses from Friday, but we'll have another look at the S&P 500. Hopium Alpha, please. That's going to blast in September. If you want something reviewed, you'd either have to be a member or do a super chat. We are about to finish the show. SoundHound will break 167, tons of liquidity there. I mean, it is a possibility. I just think ever since it's gone up so much, there's people that won't be willing to sell, and they'll be buying up before lowering their averages. Opium Alpha, please, sorry, we can't look at that just because you're not a member and we don't have time, and we normally do it for a super chat. Stacey, now uploading thumb Thumbnail's all done. Thank you, Martin. Hopium Alpha, the French company. No, I understand, but we just can't look at that right now. We'll look at the S&P 500 because Vaz, as a member, and as a super chat, we can look at that for you. So yeah, the S&P 500. If you look at it on Friday, we closed at uh, last Friday before the Monday crash, we closed at 5,346. This Friday at close, we closed at 5,344. So we actually recovered. We spent the whole week recovering from that Monday crash, but we finally did recover. Remember what I was saying? I said we're overbought. I said we're in the higher end of overbought, and I wouldn't be surprised if we test the heart line of this trend. So me and Martin again gave our analysis of a sort of 10% move to the downside, and what was it exactly? An exact 10%. Let me see exactly. It might have been slightly less, but from that high to that low, 9.75%. So a 10% correction. There are lower targets. I mean, we're not out of the higher highs. I mean, this momentum needs to continue. You don't want it to slow down. I'm not into clear yet. I do have lower targets in the case of recession, for example, or um, weakness in the market. Let's say we don't have to call it a recession yet. Um, Lower targets, but for now, we got our first target of a 10% move to downside, and we've recovered. We just need to see if we continue the recovery. We don't want to start losing any momentum, but the recovery has happened, Vaz. You pamper me every Sunday long. Thank you, says Vaz. No, Vaz, you always support the show. You're always here, so I do appreciate it. Without you, we're nothing. So yeah, still in a nice uptrend. Just need to be cautious. Just need to hedge our bets slightly. Yes, everything looks fine, but recession, as much as we don't want to talk about it, there is a chance a recession happens. And if you want to buy the best prices, you normally buy the best prices where you don't know it's a recession, but once you see a drop of 20%, then you're pretty likely to make a profit on the S&P 500 if you see a 20% drop, then you buy it. Okay, so that was the S&P 500. Let's quickly run through some other things before we end the show. Let's have a look at some precious metals. Gold trending to all-time highs, 2,432 per ounce. Some people think it's a bad investment, but over the last year, let's just see. Let's say from random point, what month are we now? August. What was last August? Last August, we're up 30%, so that's not too bad. And over 10 years, 2024, 2014, we're up 114%. So not a bad investment. You're never going to lose too much on gold, and as long as you hold it for the long term, it's always going to go higher. I like gold recently just because of inflation, and I think we are at our first target. Next target's at 2,800. Silver will follow suit, in my opinion. Bitcoin dominance is heading higher. Bitcoin is. I've been saying this. I've been saying this since 40%, and now we're at 57% dominance. I think we can all go into the 60s percent as well. That just means more money, more of the market cap of crypto is in Bitcoin, meaning more money can flow out of Bitcoin into altcoins where the real money is made in 2025. Total crypto market cap is currently at $2 trillion. It tested 1.75 trillion with that flash crash, which I did mention in the show. That was a great time to buy. I don't recommend buying crypto at random times. Unless it's a random time where there's a random crash. When there's a crash in the stock market, when there's a crash in Bitcoin's price, when you drop 20%, 25% on ETH in a matter of hours, you can be pretty safe that that's not a terrible buying opportunity. Whether or not you sell in a year from now, or whether or not you sell 10 minutes after that crash, or a day after that crash, when there's an overreaction in crypto, it's normally a good time to buy. Moving on to something like XRP, I kept saying XRP I'll buy below 50 cents, and I mentioned on last week's show or the week before, MSK asked me about XRP, and I said you can literally just keep trading at 45 cents to 60 cents, 45 cents to 60 cents, 40 cents to 60 cents. And for example, there, the last trade between 37 cents and 63 cents, 70% move upwards in a matter of days. And last week, 42 cents to 65 cents in 2 days, 50% move to the upside. So you can keep trading crypto like this, but I like to buy XRP below 50 cents for the long term, 45 cents and 40 cents. And I recognize XRP can go as low as 30 cents. And remember, they just won they fully won their law case. They had to pay $150 million in fines, which is nothing for them. They actually made that money back with their XRP holdings in seconds. So that just means now there's no case lingering. It means that Ripple Labs can IPO, which will be great for XRP as well. Did you catch them off, Sensei? Damn off, they're everywhere at this moment. I know it's so annoying, man. You can't. It's so hot, so you open windows. But I didn't catch them off. There's flies everywhere in the room now. There's so many flies in the room, and I can see the moth flying about above my head. Okay, I think we've come to the end of the show. Anything else you want to look at? Let's quickly see. Orange juice futures. Your orange juices, look at that S-curve on the parabolic turn of orange juice. That's orange juice futures. It's nearly at all-time highs again. Coffee what's this? Cotton has come down. Sugar. Let's go on the monthly. Sugar's not too expensive at the moment. It's come down. Coffee's going up quite a lot, approaching the higher end of the curve. Rice is coming down, which is nice. Cattle futures is at all-time highs. Live cattle futures is basically at all-time highs. Dollar index is holding strong. Then to be careful with moths, chew clothes and cash. I'm probably attracted to cash in the attic. I love it. James, I've never had a situation with a moth chewing my clothes, but I'm really worried about it now. Is it just normal moths? Because I've got a few suits that have Hopium Alphabet Ahmed, as Martyn has just mentioned, unfortunately, if you do a super chat or if you become a member, I can do it for you, but we can't give away these perks, especially when I'm about I've gone over time a lot. There is a link to become a member on the channel. If you go into the channel and look at membership, there is you can become a member that way, and hopefully you become a member and I can do your requests next week. Do moths chew on crypto as well? Raz, that's the beauty of crypto. That's the main benefit. It's not all the other things, it's because they can't chew on crypto. No, it's the smaller moths. Yeah, that's what I thought. So the big ones are safe. Okay, good. Don't worry, Sensei, there are about 3 moths flying in my house right now. Good, at least I'm not alone. I meant fully rebound. Oh, okay, into the top. There is a chance, but not this week. Baz moths everywhere in the UK at the moment. That is right. Thank you all for tuning in. I apologise for the delay. I apologise for the sudden interruption into our stream. I have no idea what that was about. But thank you for tuning in once again. Another week, another set of events. Let's see where we'll be next week. My cats eat moths. That's amazing, James. You are lucky. I need to get a cat to eat all these moths. Okay, until next time, take care of yourselves and each other.